When a weary traveler arrived at a cold, selfish village, with nothing but a cooking pot and a single stone, the people turned him away. Yet, by the end of the day, the entire village gathered around his pot and discovered that the greatest feast begins not with wealth, but with kindness and sharing. Once, long ago, in a small European village tucked between misty hills, there came a traveler. His boots were worn thin, his cloak torn, and his stomach empty. The villagers, each with their own troubles, watched suspiciously as he approached. "Please," he asked the first door he found, "could you spare a bit of food for a hungry man?" The woman at the door frowned. "We barely have enough for ourselves." At the next home, and the next, the answer was the same. The traveler thanked them kindly, though his heart was heavy. As dusk fell, he stopped in the middle of the village square, lit a small fire, and set his empty pot above it. From his pouch he took out a smooth, round stone. The villagers peeked from their windows, curious. "What's he doing?" whispered one. The traveler smiled to himself and said loudly, "Ah, tonight I'll make a delicious stone soup." The villagers stepped closer, puzzled. "Stone soup?" asked a young boy. "You can't eat stones." "Oh, you'd be surprised," said the traveler cheerfully, stirring the boiling water. "This is a very special stone. It just needs a bit of help." "Help?" asked the boy. "Well," said the traveler, "a pinch of salt would bring out the flavor." The boy ran home and returned with a small handful of salt from his mother's kitchen. "Excellent," said the traveler, adding it to the pot. "Now, if only I had a few carrots. Stone soup is much tastier with carrots." An old farmer nearby cleared his throat. "I might have one or two," he muttered, returning soon with a basket. And so it went, a cabbage here, a potato there, a slice of onion, a bit of meat. The traveler stirred, smiled, and thanked each villager warmly. Soon the once empty pot was bubbling with rich aroma, and laughter filled the square. By nightfall, the air was thick with the smell of the most delicious soup the village had ever known. "Is it ready yet?" called a child. "Almost," the traveler laughed, "but a soup this fine deserves company." He fetched wooden bowls, and one by one the villagers lined up, eyes wide with wonder. They tasted the soup, rich, hearty, and full of warmth. "This is amazing," said the miller's wife. "Who would have thought one stone could make such a feast?" The traveler smiled, sipping from his bowl. "Ah, it's not just the stone," he said softly. "It's what everyone added, a bit of this, a bit of that, and a whole lot of kindness." The villagers looked at one another for the first time in years and realized they had shared not just food, but friendship. When the meal was done, the traveler washed the stone carefully and tucked it back into his pouch. "Are you leaving already?" asked the boy. "Yes," said the traveler, "but you now have the magic for yourselves." "Magic?" "Of course," he said with a wink. "The magic of sharing. Keep it alive, and you'll never go hungry again." The next morning, as he disappeared down the misty road, the villagers stood in the square, not poorer, but richer in spirit. From that day onward, no traveler was ever turned away hungry, and no table was ever set for one alone. And somewhere, in another town, another pot would soon boil, and another village would learn the lesson of the stone soup. When we share what little we have, we find that together we have more than enough. And that was today's tale from Tale Ember, where stories spark wisdom. If you enjoyed this fable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss another story flame. Until next time, may your path be bright and your ember burn strong.